So buck shows, they can be a little crazy. So I'm sort of interested to see how it compares. We've been raising goats for the last 13 years, but about a year ago, we became interested in the world of showing goats. Yes, guys, there's shows for goats. So as we've been trying to improve our genetics, we wanted to try our hand at a local buck show. That's right, guys, it's all bucks, it's all stinky, and we're bringing our bucks. Well, that is if everything works out as we planned. Okay, here we go.
He's so excited.
Yeah, he's really excited to travel here. There you go. Our first trip in the trailer. Go on, get in there. Okay, we're on our way to our first show of the season. Kevin and I are all decked out in our white get-ups. It's a buck show, and we were gonna bring Napoleon, but he decided that he did not want to be led. He'll walk if you have a girl with him. And we kind of decided that he's in his sort of teenager phase anyway, where he's all looking kind of goofy. So we don't think he'll do that well anyway, and yeah, he's a pain. So
next year he'll be physically mature.
Next year he'll be better, I think, if we keep working with him. Yeah, he's been a little brat. So yeah, we've just got Zorro with us, and we're headed out to this buck show. So buck shows, they can be a little crazy. So I'm sort of interested to see how it compares.
Smelly.
All right, we're getting his stall ready.
Very interesting.
Oh, we only have one buck, so we only got one bag of shavings. We probably should have got a little bit more, but seems a little bit wasteful, so. We figure he'll hang out over there. And then I also bleached everything, so.
As for now, he's very cautious.
I am.
Protective.
Okay, so we're at the buck show. Zorro's gonna be up in a few classes, but this class right now is Tilly's little buckling. So Tilly and Zorro's buckling is coming in right now. So we're gonna see how he does.
Look how they are skin, you put your hands on a little bit more leftness to the left and general appearance over number 5. 5 different over 6. It's a very straight advantage. Again, we'll fly this door, open this ribbon, and nice arching and sketching is good. The fifth place to make over number 6.
How different he looks, you know, like he really is more of a kind of a light chocolate. Cute. Yeah, I think he's done. Okay guys, Kevin is up with Zorro, and he said he'd show him for me, so I'm really excited to see how he does. Zorro listens to Kevin more than he listens to me. Kevin says it has something to do with hormones, but he likes Kevin more. Oh, I'm so proud of him for showing. I'm gonna go on the other side. Okay, so Kevin and I are going to do a little recap because the sound was getting really loud. There was lots of wind.
Here he was being really nice and not stop moving his head.
He did pretty good. Judge was checking him over. The one thing is he walks really good.
Oh man.
He's
better than
good.
some of them.
Yeah. So this part is really interesting because the judge is having him walk forward towards him so he can see the width in their chest. Mm-hmm. That sort of brisket area. Yeah, and there's Amberly's goat peanut.
And he lets me move his front feet, just not his back feet. Yeah. And he was very lovey-dovey with me right here.
It's so funny. Oh, so this is the part where the judge is starting to sort of initially place them. And then, so then he goes and he fills the ribbing here. And then I think he switches them. Yeah, he switches the placing.
Yeah.
That one had a little bit better, like, openness of ribbing.
Yeah,
so
that wasn't fair. He weighed like 20 pounds more.
He did.
Then Zorro gave me a big hug here, I guess to congratulate me.
Yeah. So in the end, he got second to last, but that's okay because we still have tomorrow.
Yep.
Alright guys, it's day 2 of the goat show, and I brought my kids with me, yay! Yay! On Mother's Day, they came to a buck show. So, yesterday Zorro didn't do that well. Oh, they're gonna talk on that microphone.
It's Zorro. There he is. He's doing it.
He's doing it.
He's doing it.
He's standing there.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh. Let it look shy.
Naughty. She knows he's being naughty.
Okay, so Dad's coming up next. Are you guys ready to watch Dad?
He's gonna get second to last. So then.
Alright, so Kevin, when I showed Zorro, I got last with him.
Yes.
But then, in the next ring,
I only got second to last.
and there were only 4 bucks in this one ring, so
Yeah.
so we got third place.
We were guaranteed a ribbon because the first 4 get a ribbon.
Alright guys, Zorro got 3rd out of 4.
What do you think?
Good job. He just has to thicken up a little bit. He's kind of skinny.
Yeah, 15 pounds and
He'll be good. Alright, so in the end, Zorro got last and second to last, but that's okay.
not too bad.
Yeah, you know, it was really interesting because at the end, every judge said sort of the same line. They said, "We commend this buck for having such exceptional dairy skin, but he's just not wide enough and he doesn't have like the depth or the body capacity to be able to, you know, compete with the bucks his age."
And that's a big part of what they're judging on is how much they've matured and grown.
And how their body structure looks overall, like the balance of it. So we figure that Zorro just needs a little bit more growth or maturity, and we're pretty sure that it's because Napoleon is sort of taking a lot of his food, so
true.
That's something we've got to make sure and solve. But yeah, it was actually really interesting to compare him with all the other bucks there because you sort of have an idea of where your animal lies as far as the comparison with all the others in the area, but it was really interesting. So
Yeah.
it was fun. You know, you don't necessarily go to win. It's fun to win, but you go to get a really good pair of expert eyes on your goat and then learn how to improve them. So we got 3rd place though, and that one ring we got 3rd place.
3rd place.
So
Out of 4.
yeah. Salem! She wants the stick and they want the leaves. Salem, you gotta share!
Yeah.
If I film long enough, eventually we'll get it. Okay, family, so the question is Faye
Special.
male or female?
More male, more female?
She's definitely more male, for sure.
Wonder if that's part of.
Watch, she's gonna do it to these two. Watch.
So Faye is definitely starting to act buck-like, which means she must have testes inside of her, like the vet said is a possibility. you have two options. You can either get them removed or she could be a good companion for a buck. And luckily we have somebody that wants a companion for a buck. So we're gonna sell her to a friend who Faye will just have a fun life, you know, being a buck buddy.
Or she could be a companion to girls too, because she can't get them pregnant.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Just be a big bother.
She would actually.
So
She's really annoying to these little red girls.
Yeah,
She drives them crazy. Huh? Is it so annoying? Is it so annoying? Look at that. She definitely has the male parts. Funny, it's like a little doling voice, but it's lift her tail up for me. So it's so interesting because this little vulva part, I'm gonna pull it down like this, is actually sort of grown into a little male part here. So it's sort of interesting because when I first saw this, I sort of second guessed myself. I thought, oh no, like maybe it's just a little bit swollen.
Yeah.
But as she's gotten older, it's definitely grown.
Yeah.
There she goes. So a lot of times people say that hermaphrodites only happen between two polled, but neither of the parents were polled. So it's such a really random coincidence that that happened.
That is.
But yeah, I think she'll have a good place on a little farm with bucks.
Companion, great companion.
Great companion. So Faye, don't confuse Faye with Raven. They look really similar, but
It has like the undercoat.
yeah, Faye has like the soft, fluffy undercoat, and she has blue eyes.
So Ethan was asking if she can get pregnant, and she probably cannot because since she has both male and female.
If she's presenting like very male-like behavior, she definitely wouldn't have, yeah, the ovaries and the hormones to be able to be female. And those are all of Olive's triplets right there. Look at that. That's so funny. So as you guys know, I've been trying to get Kevin to build a cellar for a long time, but he hasn't ever wanted to. Actually, it might be kind of a pipe dream because we live in pretty much the hottest climate in the world, and cellars don't do that great here. They just don't get that cool, even if you go really deep. So I have a better idea. I have the best idea. I decided to get a freeze dryer. Now, the company did send this to me for free. I feel really excited about that. And in exchange, I'm going to give my honest, true opinion on using this. So you'll see me use this pretty much the whole summer as long as we can get harvest from the garden. We have so many things that I could can, but some of it doesn't can well. Like for example, I have a ton of carrots right now, and I still have carrots that I can sitting in my pantry that really can only be used for soups and stews. You can not only preserve the nutritional quality and the color and everything, but then you just add water, rehydrate it, and throw it in recipes. Today, we're gonna go ahead and start using the freeze dryer by freeze drying something that we have a lot of right now, and that is mulberries. So I started off by picking the mulberries and then washing them and drying them pretty well, because the whole point of a freeze dryer is to freeze and then dry it. So I wanted them pretty dry from the start. Then we loaded the trays into the freeze dryer, hit start, and hoped for the best. About a day later, they were ready and nice and crispy for preserving. All right, here are all my mulberries. They're super light and you could practically break one in half because they're completely dried. So they'll be perfect for preserving and rehydrating later. It kind of tastes like candy. Okay, try it. Good job.
We're good in my cereal.
the coolest thing is you can pretty much freeze dry anything except for like jams, jellies, and honey. You can even do milk and eggs. Like we can make powdered eggs. Like that blows my mind. So we're gonna be preserving a lot more food, and you can join me and see see our adventures in it and see how it works. So the company that I went with is Harvest Right, and I'll put a link in the description below. It's an affiliate link, so just so you know, we do get a kickback if you purchase through that link. But yeah, I'm excited about this new way to preserve food in the desert, because with our heat, everything goes bad here pretty quickly.
Do you have new children in progress?
She does.
Every year, right on schedule.
She goes broody, and we get some little baby chicks out of her.
And she's pretty ferocious about protecting them.
She is.
Strong.
She never leaves the nest either, so she'll be there all the way.
Bring her own water and food, because she will not get up.
For sure. You're such a good little turkey. I remember when we first got turkeys, like 3 years ago, people told us they're not good mamas, they're not broody, they won't ever hatch anything out or be able to raise anything up, and Kiwi proved all them wrong, because she's absolutely taking care of like 3 or 4 clutches, right Kevin?
Yeah.
So a lot of different clutches of chicks, peacocks and her own turkeys, and
She tried to do an emu,
oh, that's right.
but it was really hot outside and the egg almost came out, but
Yeah, it did develop to a certain point, but I think, isn't the emu supposed to be like 60 days? So that's a really long time to sit. She loves it, so we're just gonna keep letting her do it. So we put buff Orpington and black Australorp chicks under her, because those are my favorite breeds of chickens, and they're the quietest. They lay eggs pretty good, and they're really pretty. So I think we need more of those. Okay guys, a couple weeks ago I did a round of milk testing for all of the milking does here, and it was a little too soon to do Daphne's, but I was able to do everybody else, and I'm kind of excited to show you guys the results of that. Okay Hazel, you're up first. Let's see how you do. She's so good, she hops right up. Gets right to eating. Now Hazel's about halfway done with her lactation, because she delivered her little single buckling in October. So she doesn't have a ton of milk, but she's done really well, and I definitely think she's gonna earn her milking star. Milk testing is a way for you to see how much your does really produce and how they compare with the breed's averages. So it's really interesting, because when you go out to buy a goat, people will often say the line, oh, they come from really good milking lines. But do they really come from good milking lines, or is that just something that the breeder said? All right, we have to still subtract the weight of the pail, which is 0.4. So that's what milk testing is for. It's to really determine the top milking lines in your herd and your herd practices, if you need to maybe change up how you feed them a little bit. All right, good job. Come on, Tatum. Tatum's just like her mama in that she doesn't go up unless you lead her. You have to lead her. You have to show her the way. There you go. Tatum also had a single buckling at the end of November, so she's getting low too. But she's done pretty good for her first year. We'll see if she hits her star. I'm not sure yet if she will. So it's a great way to really see on paper how your goats are doing. And it's also cool because you'll get the somatic cell count back, which means you'll be able to see if there's any sort of underlying mastitis happening in your herd, which is an infection that can get in the udder. So it's a great tool for breeders and just anybody that wants to milk their goats and see how their milking goats are doing. Okay, here we go, Tatum. All right, we'll take it. Good job, little Tatum. Good job. You're done. You're the only one that goes down the ramp. Come on. Okay, switch with your mom. No. Tilly goes up the ramp today? Oh my gosh, you must be wanting some grain. It's a miracle, Tilly. All right, Tilly is getting low on milk, guys. She kidded back at very end of December, and she had a lot of milk for a long time, but then sort of went down.
Just an older goat.
Okay, good job, Tilly. We always weigh the milk instead of looking at the volume because we want to see exactly how many pounds of milk they're producing. A lot of times when you're milking, you'll produce a lot of foam because you're milking so fast, but it's hard to measure that. So it's better to measure in the weight.
How many pairs you have?
Okay, bye Tilly. Have a good day today. All right, come on, Olive. You remember this.
You can do it.
She's almost remembering, almost. Look at that udder, guys. It's amazing. So we're not really sure what's going on here. Her mama doesn't have that. Her mama Lily has a nice attachment here. It could be that she just has a lot of weight. Like this is hard as a rock, and this is only just overnight. So it could be that she just has a lot of edema or swelling, and it's just sort of weighing the udder down, but she looks great, and udders can change a lot, so we're gonna just be happy with how much volume she has and just keep going and seeing how she changes throughout the year. Like, that's crazy. Look at that. Oh my goodness, girl. Now our trick is gonna be to try to milk her without letting her kick over the bucket.
Yeah.
Because we need to measure it. All right, now we've got to still weigh this big heavy bucket. So this number is not going to be what it is, 4.8. Okay, so we'll weigh the bucket after I dump it. All right, time to go back to your, well, not with your kids. You get to be next to them, but no kids today. Oh, I don't think she's gonna go.
Come on.
When you do milk testing and your goats hit a certain level, then they earn what we call a milking star, which is kind of cool because you can say, oh, this goat has its milking star. It's an above average milking goat. So Tilly earned her milking star a couple years ago, and so did Willow, but as you guys know, Willow's not being bred and she's not gonna produce milk anymore. So now the other ones are up. And we're trying to see this year if we can get all 4 of the other ones to get their milking star. Hazel, Tatum, and then Olive and Daphne. We'll see. I'm not sure. So let's go see what that milk test actually looks like on paper when I get all the information back. Okay, we've got all of the paperwork back. We're gonna start with Tilly. So we know this is Tilly. She already earned her star, but a lot of people still like to test because you like to just sort of track where they're at, if they're increasing, if they're decreasing. And so Tilly can't earn a second star, but it's just sort of fun to see and compare with her last year. So I won't spend too much time here. Okay, for Hazel, she's done really well. She started out by making 3.5 pounds a day to 3 to 2 to just under 2. And so what they project is, they project that if I keep her in milk for 305 days, which is until August 2nd, that they keep kind of changing this projection as they go. They think she'll make about 700 pounds. And she needs 620 to earn her star, and then 22 fat and 19 protein, which she'll totally hit. So Hazel is definitely on track to earn her star, and I just have to keep her in milk through the summer to make sure that we get enough data back and have her officially a milking star goat. Oof, now Tatum. She only had that single buckling, and then I don't know if she's just a slow developer like Tilly was, but Tatum, they project her to only make about 500. Each test that's come back has been really just around 2 pounds. 2 pounds, 2 pounds, a little under 2 pounds. In fact, this last one was only like 1.5 pounds. So she really needs the 600 pounds to get her milking star and the 21 and 18 butterfat and protein. She's only at 300 right now, so it's not looking too good for Miss Tatum. She might have to wait and hit her milking star next year. Hopefully she's more developed, she has more kids, and it'll all work out. Okay, Olive, she'll definitely hit her star, and we only have one test and we already know that she's gonna hit it. And that's because her first test was so high at 4.7 pounds of milk. They have a formula that they can project that if I keep her in milk all the way till January, which is 305 days, she will have produced 1,000 pounds of milk, which is really, really cool. She's the same, she just needs 600 to earn her milking star, so Olive is definitely gonna earn it. So the only one that's sort of iffy is Tatum, but we're just gonna roll with it and see how she does next year. I'm gonna keep her in milk and keep her on milk tests, do a few different little feed changes and see if we can't increase her milk a little bit. But if we can't, then we just go with it. And definitely this will give me the indication to breed her next year to a buck that has high production back in his lines. That way we know that the babies that Tatum produces will hopefully have a bit of an increase in milk. Tatum has beautiful body structure, beautiful teat placement, and beautiful udder attachments, but not a lot of volume. So that would be our goal with her. So hopefully this is sort of interesting to you. It's interesting to me because I get to see actual data on my goats now and make better decisions for who to breed to who and the whole thing. And Daphne's gonna be on the next test, so we'll see how she does and what her first projections are gonna look like and how they compare with Olive's. I don't know, Olive's gonna be hard to beat.